Hello again, Year 6. So this is our second Roman numerals lesson. So yesterday we looked at converting Roman numerals to integers and vice versa. Today we're going to be looking at using Roman numerals in calculations. So pause the video for a second. Can you remember what each of these numerals are worth? Remember they are in ascending order, so they are going from smallest to largest. So remember, I is worth 1, V is worth 5, X is worth 10, L is worth 50, C is worth 100, D is worth 500, and M is worth 1,000. So, as well as converting between Roman numerals and integers, we can solve calculations using the Roman numerals. So if I had the calculation LXVI plus XLII, I can work out the answer by converting my Roman numerals to integers first. So let's have a look at how we would do that. So I would work out what each of my letters are worth. So L is worth 50, X is worth 10, V is worth 5, and I is worth 1. So because the numbers are going down in size, I know that I can add them all together. So I would do 50, add 10, add 5, add 1, which would be 66. And then I would look at my second Roman numeral. So I have got XLII. So again, I'm going to split it up and I'm going to work out what each letter is worth first. So X is worth 10, L is worth 50, I is worth 1, and again, I is worth 1. So if I look at this one this time, I realise that 10 is smaller than 50. So this means that I'm going to have to do a subtraction. So I would first of all do 50 minus 10, which would be 40. And then because my I and I are smaller than 50, I would then add them on. So my calculation would become 66 plus 42. Have a look at this calculation. So I've got VII plus CL. Pause the video for a second and see if you can work out what this calculation would be in integers. So my calculation would be 7 plus 150 because V is worth 5, I is 1 and I is 1. So we add them together to make 7. And C is worth 100 and L is worth 50. So because 50 is smaller than 100, I would add them together to get 150. Well done if you got that one correct. So have a look at this one. I've got the calculation III plus LXXII. What would this one be in integers? Now don't panic because LXXII looks a bit confusing. All you need to do is work out what each letter is worth first and then add them together or subtract them if necessary. Remember, in the right hand corner are your Roman numerals to integers conversions to help you. So this time it would be 3 plus 72. So I've got I, which are all worth 1, so that's 3. Then I've got plus LXXII. So because L is larger than X, I add it. And because X is larger than I add it again. So that makes 72. Well done if you got that one correct. I can also change integers into Roman numerals. So let's have a look at what this one would be in Roman numerals. So the first thing that I would do is I would partition my numbers. So I'd partition 82 into 80 and 2, and I would partition 73 into 70 and 3. This way it is easier to work out what your Roman numeral would be because you are working in your tens and your ones. So first of all, if I wanted to work out what 80 was, I would look at my Roman numerals. I can see that my closest Roman numeral to 80 would be 50. So I would put L. So then I would work out what I needed to do to 50 to get to 80. Well, I would need to add 30. So I know that in order to make 30, I need 3 lots of 10. So to make 80, I would need LXXX. I would then need to make 2. So to make 2, I need to do II. because I is worth 1 and 1 add 1 is 2. So that's 82 sorted. I would then move to 73. So I would take 70 first of all. Again, I would look down my list of Roman numerals and see what is closest to 70. So I can see again that 50 is my closest number to 70. So I would use L first of all. I would then see what I needed to do to 50 to get 70. So I need to add 20. So I need 2 lots of 10. So that would be LXX. I would then need to make 3. So I know that I is 1. So if I have 3 i's, I know that that is 3. Okay, so my calculation would be 50 add 10, add 10, add 10, add 1, add 1, plus 50 add 10, add 10, add 1, add 1, add 1. So if I added all of those together, I would have LXXXII plus LXXIII. Have a go yourself now. So if I've got the calculation 43 plus 22, what would this be in numerals? Remember, in the right hand corner there is your numerals to help you. Pause the video and have a go. So this time it would be XLIII plus XXII. Well done if you got that one correct. Have a look at this one now. Be careful. Is your sign the same as it was before? Is it an addition or a subtraction? Pause the video and have a quick go. This time it would be LXIV minus XI. Well done if you got that one correct. Why do you think then that the number 4 would be IV, not III? Have a look at your numerals to help you. Why do you think it would be IV, not III? Have a quick think. So in Roman numerals, you can only have 3 of one letter, otherwise it is wrong, okay? So if we take the letter I, we can only make 3 with it. So you can only have I. After this, you move to the next numeral. Okay, so take the number 4. It is much quicker to write IV than it is to write I. Okay, so that's why it changes when it gets to the number 4. Have a look at these calculations. Can you identify and correct the errors? So pause the video and see if you can identify the errors and correct them. We'll come back together in a few minutes to look at the mistakes. Okay, so if you look at number 1, you can see that the problem is with the second Roman numeral. Hopefully you identified that they have used 4 of the letter I. Okay, so as we said before, you can only use 3 of each letter. So in order to make the number 4, it should be IV. So my Roman numeral should be XXIV. If you have a look at number 2, they've done a similar mistake. They've tried to make 10 by doing V, I. Okay, so again, as we've said before, you can only use 3 of each letter. So in order to make that, it should have been XX because they're trying to make 20. Okay? In the third one, it's the answer that is incorrect. So we've got XXIV, which is 24, minus X, and they thought that was 17. So the error that they've made is they have thought that XXIV is worth 27. They've forgotten that because the I is before the V, they need to minus it. Okay, so the answer should have been XIV. And in the last question, we've got XXX minus IIV. Okay, so the error is with the second numeral again. Okay, because they've tried to make 3 by 5 take away 2. Okay, but because we can use 3 of one letter, we could just use I, and it's much easier. Well done if you identified and corrected those errors. On to the next task then. Can you complete this numerals pyramid? So remember, the two boxes below add together to make the box above it. So pause the video, have a quick go, and then we'll come together to look at the answers in a few minutes. Good luck. And here are your answers. Hopefully you didn't find that too challenging, but it is a bit tricky because we're not working with integers. So if we start with V on the bottom row at the left-hand side, can you see how V plus VI is equal to XI? Okay, so V equals 5 and VI equals 6. So 6 add 5 is 11, which makes XI. Okay? Just take a few minutes to check your answers. Okay, if you'd like an extra challenge, have a look at this. So my date of birth is written in the short date format. Okay, so my date of birth is XXVII X MCM XCIV. Can you work out what my date of birth is? Once you've done that, can you write your date of birth in Roman numerals? Have a quick go at that. So make sure you are getting some fresh air every day but are also staying safe. Remember, if you are struggling with anything and need my help, your parents have my email address and I will do my very best to help you. Speak to you soon.